Welcome to the Winner Circle Motivates You here on thisis50.com. Your host, June Archer, and I am with the amazing songstress, artist extraordinaire, Miss Chanté Moore. Chanté, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing fine. Thank you. How are you today?
Listen, I woke up this morning and I am super excited to interview you. We have, you know, a great history of making music together with producer All Star, also performing live together. But more importantly, as we get started, how have you been and how has your creative vibe been during this coronavirus and quarantine that has been going on for the past few months now?
You know what? I can't complain. Honestly, there's someone who said a part of a quote, and it definitely, I extended it into if you haven't figured out how to do what you do better, a new hustle, or to better your hustle, to perfect something that has not been exactly where it should be, to finish the project that haven't been finished. You haven't taken this time to do what you were supposed to do. It's not because you don't have enough time. It's because you haven't got enough discipline.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. And when we talk about discipline, Chanté, you have been on the scene. Let's call it 91 music drops. You have been consistently blessing us with music, consistently
Yeah.
blessing us with your artistry and live performance. How does that discipline play out? Because, some people don't make it past the first album, and you've continued to put out album after album, even throwing duet albums in there. Life has gotten in the way. Uh, you have grown as an artist. You have grown as an individual. How do you maintain that discipline to continue to be in a creative space and create great music?
Well, part of it is a love for music. I believe that has to be the root of it all. To be called to do this for a living, I think you're supposed to be able to do this for a living if you're called to do it. I believe God gives you grace to do that which you're called to do. And I was supposed to do this for a living. I know I'm supposed to sing and encourage people and give from my heart for real, and not just entertain. We can feel like little monkeys, we're like, send in the clowns, there you go. And we go in and we like, da, 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 da. But but if you get the purpose, if you get that it is a purpose in it, there's purpose in the music. It's not just, rump shaker. I'm not just popping my behind, just, out there just to go, ooh, tell me how great I am. You know, I'm that's not why I do it. I do it because there are people who listen to my music and they go through their breakups or they go through hard times and they get through it a little bit easier because of something I've written or because of something I've said at a concert or because of a song that speaks to their heart. And, I say it a lot because it is true that they are my Grammys. People are the Grammys. They are the walking around Grammys. They're the one who go, oh my gosh, Chanté, you have no idea how much I love you. You have gotten me through ... dot, dot, dot. And so if you have that and the actual love for the creative process of, I love hearing new songs. I love hearing songs, just songs I've never heard before. I love the creative process of hearing someone create a song musically and then being able to write to it in my room in the midnight hour or in the studio with them and just cooking up something new. And then watching that process from there to singing it and seeing it come alive and becoming this real tangible thing that I can press play and hear back, from that to the stage, where it becomes even something else. It turns into this living thing that can touch people and that they can sing along. And then it's a part of their life too, So all of that keeps me singing some more.
Now, you have been the shoulder to cry on. You have been the artist to create that music for people who have fallen in love, fallen out of love, trying to make it through hard times with a loved one. You have been in that same place. What did you lean on? Take me back to Chanté's Got a Man. Like we know some of the relationships without really digging. but what did you lean on? Like what did you have the wherewithal to say, you know what, I've gotten this piece of advice, or someone told me this, or maybe it's the Bible, maybe it's meditation for you, Chanté. What did you lean on when you were in that vulnerable place?
uh, I'm more than a church girl. I'm a believer, and I listen to gospel music. I have many playlists, but even in '96, I go back to my roots. I go back to Walter Hawkins and Tremaine Hawkins. I go back to Andre Crouch and the Imperials. I go back to those songs that I grew up on that were my foundation. They're how I learned the scriptures. This was that spoken by the prophet Joel. Then in the last days, I'll pour out my spirit. Those are the things that I listen to, that God is the Redeemer. He is the one who is the mender of broken hearts. It was Fred Hammond. It was, those people who I always listen to. There's always those songs that encourage our hearts in different ways. We can definitely rejoice. There is a rejoicing that happens. And even that gets you through the hard times. Sometimes we have to decide who we're going to be in the moment. We can choose to mourn, but not necessarily like right now. My heart is filled. It's heavy, but it's also filled with joy because I know there's a hope beyond this world. There has to be a hope beyond this
Yes.
world. And whether you believe it or not, doesn't make the truth not the truth. I say it all the time. You don't have to believe the sun came up, but it did. You're like, I can't see it. I can't see it. You shut your eyes, you can't see it. But it doesn't stop the sun having gone up. It went up. That is the truth. And there is a truth that I live in, and that lives in me. So my basis for peace and for stamina and for hope is Jesus.
What piece of advice or words of wisdom, key to success, were you given when you ran up against a roadblock, stumbling block, doors being closed? We know that this music business is unforgiving at times, right? There are times where you are up, all the way up. Sometimes you are down. There are peaks and valleys. But for those who are watching and listening, and they know, oh, this is the beautiful Chanté Moore. What can you share that has been given to you that you could pass on to allow someone to see the light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, the first thing I say is just keep living. There are things that everyone has to go through. The sun shines on the just, the rain falls on the just and the unjust. No matter who you are, whether you have a lot of money or no money, good times are going to come and bad times are going to come. The rich commit suicide just like the poor. I believe that it's important for you to know who you are. And when you don't know who you are, seek it out, figure it out. I
Hmm.
believe that's part of our job is to work through it, not just give up in it. I think that I'm a fighter at heart anyway. Um, for so many reasons, I am. But I would say continue to just go on. Don't take what it seems to be the easy way out to just give up on life. I've been there. I've wanted not to live. I've not wanted to commit suicide, but I've wanted to be like, look, I told Jesus, look, take me out. Just take me out. I don't want to be here no more. Because what is the point? And when you lose purpose for your life, that's when you kind of get lost and you get in a place where it's hard to find the meaning and the purpose in it. So I would say keep living, keep pressing, and lean on those you can lean on. And if there's nobody to lean on, look up, look up.
Hmm.
Just
Hmm. And what does your circle look like? Because I believe, people say you are representative of the five people that are in your circle. For you, I've known you to keep your circle very small. This show is the winner circle. Who is in your circle, and why are they in that circle for you?
well, I don't usually name who's in my circle, but what I can say is that I have people who fulfill different things. There are people that I pray with. There are people that I know if I go over their house or they come over mine, we gonna have a crazy funny time. They make me laugh. They keep me smiling. Certainly, my children are part of that circle, which are no secret at all. They are they are when I don't feel like it, I do good. I do I do press um because I got to be mama all the time. So I got to find that on the inside so that they have what they need when they were younger, especially. But even still, I'm still mom, and I still have to provide the comfort at times. I have to provide stability. I have to show them how to get through even this time of quarantine, how to get through hard times by example, not by words all the time. You can't always be like, this is another thing, another lesson, you know, more is
Right.
caught than taught, you know?
I love that. I love that. I love that. Music has changed a lot from your first album. You have a new project on the rise, Legacy Music Group with Javon Dawkins. So we're excited about what you have to offer and what this next chapter looks like. Tell me what it has been like creating this new music, and what did you draw from experience that we can look forward to?
Well, I draw, well, I've drawn from everything. That's the whole point is I think we are the sum total of all the things that we've been through and what we've learned. And I'm pretty adamant about learning the lessons that life has taught me. I've got a bloody mess life behind me. You know, I'm not perfect. I am not one to go, oh, now she's the way to go. Follow what she has done, and that will give you, a okay outcome. No. You can see me for the mistakes that I've made living a public life. You know, they're out there. They're out there and on display. And what I can say is that I'm resilient. I am brave. I am willing to try again. I'm willing to humble myself and to become the better version of myself continuously. So I press on a lot. I press on a lot. So I would just say that the music will embody my journey because I'm not finished. We're not even finished writing everything. But the music will show that I'm still here and I still have purpose and I still have um, I know what God has for me. I know He has a a plan for my life. Actually, I don't know what He has for me, but I know He has a lot for me. How about that?
Oh no, I know he has a lot for you because he's taking you some places, and you have traveled this globe. You are well versed. One of the things I don't think people can really appreciate, Chanté, is how vocally skilled you are. We don't always see it on the record. We feel the emotion, but to see you perform, we're talking about live performance, essence, music. But when people hear you perform live, they're like, "Hold on, wait a second. I thought only Mariah Carey could do that. I had
Yeah.
no idea Chanté could do it like right. So we don't hear it on your records as much. But for you, how much do you love the live performance piece of
Ah, I love it. I love it. I miss it very much. It is a place where I feel like I can, when I see their faces, the audience, it makes a difference. It makes the freedom of live, the band, the singers or not, just being in front of the audience. You know, there's something about that draws out um, the energy, the best of me, and I think that's what it does. I don't know. I think in the studio, you want to get the song right. You know, that's
it?
my
Right,
point. Get the
right.
song right. Get the note right.
Sing the
Try to put
song
your
the way the
emotion
song's
in it.
supposed to be sung, anime. Sing the song the way it's supposed to
Right.
be sung.
Yes. But live, you've learned the song by then, you've rehearsed the song by then, the song has evolved and grown. And so you've got that in your back pocket. So then that's just an, a, a diving board, that's just the diving board for whatever comes next in the song. And I believe the song should grow. It has breath, it has life in it. And that's what happens live for me.
So a live album though, Shantae? No.
Soon.
Mm,
Hopefully this
mm.
year. It's not the way, who knows? I don't know what way I should say it. I was going to say it's not the way I planned, but because I plan to have an audience full of people and get that energy thing.
That
And
energy.
yeah, but so I don't know. I don't know, but I do plan to do it. I do plan to do it. Hopefully that will be this year. I am excited about doing that because it is one of the places that so one of the things that I have not done that I want to do, and it's time for it. It is time. It is time for
It's
it.
time for it. I might even have a little secret for you, but I can't tell you on camera. But we're gonna talk
Okay.
about that. We're gonna talk about that. So now
Okay.
you said that you are willing to try it again. So let's say the heart is open, the mind is open, the body is ready to receive the blessing of someone to love Chanté for Chanté. What does that man not physically look like, but what does he have to come to the table with? Like, is it a couple of lyrics that might get you? Is it do you love flowers? What kind of flowers is it? Like, what does this young man have to do or say to even get an opportunity to sit down and have an amazing conversation?
Well, that's part of the issue is access to me. So however that man has access to me, that is be part of the issue, I'm certain, is actually getting to me. Um, they would have to be confident in their own skin. Um, not be intimidated by what they see because, as an artist, we have to be a little tougher on the outside, but we have to stay very gentle and very vulnerable on the inside. So they would have to know that that is who I am. That's not just cliche. For an artist, we have to have that tenderness on the inside to be who we are
Right.
lyrically and emotionally, to tap into that. Um, I think you would have to have a sense of humor. Um, yeah, make me smile. I want to smile. I like smiling. I like laughing. He would have to have a life of his own. Have a life that is made, a life for yourself. You don't have to be a millionaire, but you have to have a life that you can sustain all by yourself. and and then we can add to one another's lives.
Hmm.
I love to love, so they don't have to worry about much. So just come with their hearts. That's important.
All right. So, what does a romantic evening look like after you've gone out to dinner and you're just watching television? Is it Netflix? Is it love and hip hop? Like, what is it that you're going to sit down and watch? Is it a romantic comedy? Is it a scary movie? What would that be? Just laying on the couch after a romantic evening with that young man.
It would not be love and hip hop. I love movies, though. I am a big movie buff. I do love Housewives of Atlanta because I know a few of them. So I will say that I don't like reality TV in itself because it gets a little salacious and little like the bumping of the heads gives me anxiety. So it would be a movie. I'm good on the Avengers. I'm good on old black and whites. I like scary
Mm.
movies, not demonic movies. But I like action, love. I like Denzel movies. I love Brad Pitt. I love Angelina Jolie. I love Meg Ryan movies. I love Audrey Hepburn, Katharine Hepburn. Um, I'm wide open as far as that's concerned. I love it. I love the Hateful Eight. I mean, I have such
A wide.
a wide
Okay.
love
Okay.
of. And I got one question for you before we do anything more. I see my battery ticking. Is there a possibility to pause this,
Most
or
certainly.
this is all live?
No, we can pause it because I'm going to edit
Pause
it.
it for
So
one
we're good.
second. I just don't want my phone to die in the middle of our conversation.
You got
So
it.
I kind of gave a
I'll
little
edit it.
pause. Good,
I'll
good.
edit it. Go
Give me
ahead.
a second to get my plug because I don't want to
Per-
die in the middle of you. Okay.
Perfect.
I didn't know it was going to get that low that fast. Hold on. Okay. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. I
No,
just didn't want it to go to the end of in the middle
you
of a conversation and then get you
you
completely cut off.
you are,
I didn't want that.
sis, you are good. We are straight. You know, I got you. Hey, don't even worry about
Okay.
that. All right. So I remember what we said. So I'm gonna go in. So it's gonna make an easier transition. All
Okay.
right. So here we go. All right. So talking about reality TV, you had an opportunity, R&B divas. You also had an unsung, and you talk about anxiety. How was that experience? Like you were center stage, everything was out there. How was that
Yeah.
experience?
It was pretty difficult for me. I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for that. I am
Can you ever be ready for that? Is the question.
yes, I believe you could be more ready than I was.
Okay. Okay.
I don't watch reality TV. I have friends now who are on it, so I will watch them. But as a whole, that was nothing that I didn't know. They'll say that because that leads to something like that, and then they want you to be in the middle of that, and then so the poking and the
Mhm.
prodding and the manipulation from production and even from the girls, it was just it was stuff I wasn't. I'm not made like that. I'm
Mhm.
very much the girl next door. I'm like, okay, well, I feel like that, and let's have fun. Can we have some fun? But that's not good
That's not what they want.
TV.
That's not
That's
good
not good
TV.
TV.
Not good TV.
Yeah, they want some tension and drama, and I get it because when I watch a movie, I want it to go from oh, this is beautiful, and then dun dun dun, and then it goes, and I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't, and I wish I would have been more prepared and more brave. I wasn't. I was going through a lot, especially by the second season. I no, the third season. My mother died on January 25th, decades before. But then my brother passed on and my mother died on my brother's birthday. So in the third
Mhm.
season, I was completely floored. It was in the middle of me dealing with the first year without my brother and him having passed and my mother having passed on his birthday. And then all of the stuff that was going on. And I think they as in the producers knew that I was tough, as far as like, I have a very quick wit. And so I'm not easily shaken. But at that time, it was too much. It was too much for me. And uh, I shut down. I really did shut down. And I don't think that served me well because I seemed as if I was unwilling to participate or unwilling to allow the girls to get through their journeys. So I think some of it was, it was me. It was me being in a very strange and uncomfortable place, and then the camera rolling. So there were some situations that I felt were unnecessary, and just unnecessary. And I have children who were acting older than these young ladies at the time. Not all of them. I'm not saying they're just children, but the way that we were put in the sandbox to just
Right.
and then somebody threw sand, it was just like what. So I think it was not the right place for me. I don't think it was. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about reality TV. I learned a lot about um who I was and who I wasn't and what I was willing to do or not do to be famous.
I love how you put that, and just learning something out of the process without totally unraveling, I think says so much about your character, who you are, and your strength. So I applaud you for that, and I love you for that. Uh, there's a lot of talk about, the ever so famous online versus battle. Is there anyone that you could see yourself going toe to toe with just for the culture? Not that it's a competition.
You know,
We've seen Brandy and Monica. I know we got Keisha Cole and Ashanti go. Like, is there anybody that we could? Hey, man, I would love to see Chanté and Deborah Cox or Chanté and there's so many of you. who were killing it at the time. You have Tamia. There's so many. Like Faith Evans. Like who could we potentially see you if the opportunity presented itself?
Well, I don't know who they would have in mind. I hear a lot of people say Chanté and Tamia, which would be fun. I think she's amazingly talented. But what I will say that I thought about
Mm-hmm.
is
No. All right. It's just you and I talking. It's just you and I talking.
oh yeah, keep this to yourself. I think it would be very interesting to have Chanté Moore versus Kenny Latimore.
Well, all right now.
Don't you think that would be
I
interesting?
think I think that would be
It just hit me because I'm like, you know what's funny is that because of our music being very similar, our styles of music and all of that, and then the duet albums that we've had together. Not that we need to be
I,
up there going, you're all I need to get by, and not necessarily that, but
I was gonna say who would get what song off the duet like that? Like it's like who's getting what in the divorce, right? Like what
well, I
song is
think now they've done a lot of live stuff on Versus. It used to be that it
right?
seemed like they were sitting and it was just like, oh, this is my song, they're playing it.
No,
And
no, I
now they're like,
prefer. I like the live.
you know.
I like the live. Even if you just jump in and hit a note, I think the live piece
It's
really brings it
wonderful.
home for me.
It
For
does.
those who
It
can
does.
sing, though, those who can sing and those who can really rap. But that's another story. But
Yes.
I think Shantae Moore versus Kenny Lattimore might be. And guess what? If Swiss Beats and Timbaland don't want to do it, I just might do it myself. Who knows? Who knows? We're gonna
Look
figure.
here. No, we ain't just
I'm gonna
doing it to
Don
be doing it
Cornelius
now.
this thing. Just call me Don Cornelius. I'm
I
gonna make
think
this
that
happen.
yeah, if they ask, I would, because who would turn that down? They're amazing. I think they're doing a wonderful job of entertaining us while we're home alone together. And I believe it's been a nice culture shift that we are paying attention to those who have come before us, and I just think it's wonderful. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll ask or anything. I don't know. I don't know. But
Well,
I would say
we're
yes
gonna
to
speak it
whoever.
into existence. We're gonna speak it into existence and just say, "Hey, Swiss, Tim, we want to see Shantae Moore and Candy Lattimore." So we just put it out there. So there you go. Um, Shantae, for you, music is a soundtrack to our lives. What song best represents your journey up to this point, or what artist embodies your journey to this point where you put that song or that artist on, and it puts you in a place of peace and serenity and wanting to go get it every time you listen to it or hear them?
Well, there's a few songs that have come to mind. The first one came to mind because I thought you meant my songs when you said it, and I was like, "Is he mean me, or does he mean somebody else's?" First song I thought of, to me, for me, has been "This Moment Is Mine," and because it speaks to not living in the past, that is something that I've really had to embrace and really um, grab a hold of for real. Not just say, "Oh, that's beautiful. Don't live in the past, people. Don't live in the past." People have cliches and they just say them, but they
Right.
don't know what that really
Exactly.
means to really live out. So "This Moment Is Mine" is one of the ones I think about. The other one is believe it or not, there's a song that it's by the Judah Band. And what I love about it right now in my life, in the soundtrack of my life at this moment, the Judah Band, it's called "All Things Work Together for My Good." It's, and I know that all things work together for my good. And I know that all things work together for my good. It just repeats it over and over again. It's like, how do you
Mm.
know? Well, Jesus said it. Are you sure? Yeah, I believe it. It's like that song goes over and over again. And I love that it repeats it because we are creatures of habit. And the things that we say it one time, you're like, "Oh, that's nice." Somebody says they love you one time. You don't have to just say it just one time. You're going to have to say it again and again and again. And again, because that faith cometh by hearing. You got to hear what
Yeah,
somebody is doing, not just, and you got to see it too. They got to act like, I can't just say I hate you and then,
right.
punch you in the head. But you gotta hear those things that make you believe something different. And the other one I will say right now is that God has been better than good to me. Todd Galbraith. He's been better
Mm,
than good to me. God has just been so good. And I know it's not everything I want it to be because I've got plans for my life that I'm like, you're not listening to what I say. I'm listening, talking to Jesus, like, did you not hear my prayer? Did you not hear my prayer? And but he knows what's best for me. And he has been better than good. He's been better than good to me. I can't even say that I've had a bad life. I know people, girl, you ain't got your just due. You God has got, you need to do and you need to be, and why aren't you? And I'm like, you know
mm,
what? I've really had a good life. I really have. God has blessed me and sustained me for so long
yeah.
without that bright, bright, shining star that everyone is like, you deserve your just due, honey. You are unsung. I'm like, I'm not unsung. I may not be
Mm,
where you hope for me to be, which is beautiful. I thank God for those who are like, girl, you're just underrated. I'm not underrated. What I am is not as famous as you would think I would be. But that's a beautiful thing. That means I've got headroom. I got places to go. I got a lot more I can reach for. And I am still reaching. We'll see. I am clear that I'm supposed to do this for a living. So I'm certain about that. I'm supposed to sing. I'm supposed to sing and encourage.
I love it. I
I can
love it.
keep.
This new project is on its way. Where can we find it? Where can we see you? And how can we continue to follow you and what you're doing?
Well, on Instagram at I am Chanté Moore, Chante, by the way, Moore. On Facebook for now, we'll see. Someone is cloning my page, so please go to Chanté Moore fans. And I'm not requesting anybody to be my friend. That's not the way it works on fan page. On fan pages, you just watch and then your viewers. But someone is cloning my page at this very second. So if there's anybody out there who can help a girl, I don't know how they're doing it. These guys are just technically very, very savvy and they're stealing my page. But anyway, on my page, it is Chanté Moore fans. But I can't help you if you go somewhere and it ain't me. But they're cloning exactly what I'm saying and my posts and everything else. So you might see everything, even though it's not where I am. That was weird to say,
Very,
but it's true. I can't just say what it is because it's kind of weird right now. I'm in the middle of finding out like who, what. They're getting money. They're getting paid for. They're getting paid off my name, and that's really weird and harsh, but it's true. But it's okay.
flattery. Flattery will get you nowhere. But we listen, she said it. You know how to find her, you know how to follow her. New music is on the way. And she told you, people, listen, he's been better to you than probably you've been to yourself. So during these times, I know there's some interesting times, but Chanté told you, if you're gonna do something, do it with passion. It will sustain itself. And listen, don't allow life to get you down. If you were meant to do something, you do it and do it to the best of your ability. And remember, he loves you. He loves you. Chanté, thank you so much for your time and enjoying this few minutes of just opening up. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
tuning in. This is June Archer for the Winner Circle Motivate You. Thank y'all. God bless y'all. Peace.
Thank